When you are authentic, you are the most magnetic. When you are without fear, without doubt, when you do the healing, you become more high vibrational. This is the vibration of manifestation. This is the vibration of attracting things that you want, the right people, the right opportunities. Why are we always so afraid to be ourselves? Why is it that we always hold back on expressing ourselves how we truly want to? From showing up in this world in a way that we know serves us, in a way that we know actually makes us happy, but because we're so worried about what others will say and how others will perceive us, we block that, we stop ourselves. I think that there are so many different answers to that question. I know that it goes as deep as social conditioning, limited beliefs, our environment, our upbringing, our caretakers. But why is it that even as an adult, even as a being of awareness, we still struggle? We still have a hard time being as silly or as goofy or as loud or as authentic as we desire to be. I used to ask myself the same question. Before I would even post anything, before I would even say anything, whether it was on my own personal social media account, like on Instagram, before I posted something, before I shared something, I was already judging myself. And even afterwards, I don't know how many times I would post something and then delete it right after because I would get this cringing, icky feeling out of what I thought others were going to say and perceive me as. We are taught to behave and act a certain way. There's a certain way that we should dress, a certain way that we should interact, a certain way that we should represent ourselves. And most of the time, this is outside our authentic true self. And let me just tell you that your authenticity, your rawness, your pureness, your true essence is the most magnetic and powerful thing you can be. I feel that this is something that is underrated. It's something that is not talked about enough. Do you ever stop to think about why you're here? What is the purpose and the reason of your existence outside of just being here in a human life in this physical body? Why are you really here? And why is life so hard? Why is life such a challenging experience full of hurt and pain and lessons over and over and over? We're in relationships that we don't truly feel happy in. We're in a job we don't feel fulfilled and excited in. We take certain actions and decisions that we don't feel in alignment with, whether that's smoking, drinking, laying around all day, not being productive, not using your time up correctly, whatever it is. Why is it that these things feel so hard and so impossible to achieve and do? It's like we are our biggest limits. Have you ever heard of that saying that says, dance like no one is watching? That is by far one of my absolute favorite quotes, because life should be experienced and lived as if no one is watching. How would you actually behave? What would you actually do? How would you actually express yourself? What would you say? How would you feel? How would you act if you weren't filling up your mind with doubt and thoughts and ideas of how others are perceiving you? What if you could just show up authentically? What if you could post that post that you didn't post because you're afraid of being judged? Maybe it's you dancing, maybe it's you singing. What would happen if you could just live as if no one is watching you? Or better yet, what if you could live through your authenticity, through what you desire of doing, and knowing that that could actually impact someone, that it can actually help someone. It can spark something up inside of them. What if I told you that that spark that you have that makes you you, what makes you unique, what differentiates you from everyone else? Maybe it's the way that you use your creativity. Maybe it's your voice that reaches people's hearts and gives them chills and makes them reflect in their lives. Maybe it's the advice and the wisdom that you have to share with others. Maybe it's through food and how you nurture others. Whatever it is, because we all have these special and unique talents that we don't always realize and recognize. I don't know for how long I thought that I was not talented. I would always say I have no type of skill. I'm not talented in any type of way. And I genuinely believed that for a long time. But what if I told you that that thing that you neglect in showing and sharing is actually something that not only will help yourself live a more authentic life, but would actually help others, that would actually inspire others? Because let me tell you, my beautiful friend, that is exactly the point. That it is exactly the truth. Your light, your uniqueness, your wisdom, your creativity, your expression, your voice, your heart, your existence can change lives, can transform lives. I mean, think about when you watch a video. Perhaps even from watching this video, you get a sense, a rush of excitement and inspiration, and you're tapping into that energy. Or maybe you just watch someone else that you really look up to, someone you admire, that whenever you listen to their wisdom, whenever you watch that video, even if it's just a video about cooking, even if it's about a video about working out, sometimes we see something on TV or our phones and we get inspired instantly. We instantly want to get up and we feel like we can do it. We're like, you know what? Oh, I'm going to make this meal. That meal looked delicious. I want to prepare that myself. Or you know what? I'm going to start doing this workout. That workout looks easy to do. You know what? That wisdom, that advice that person shared is actually true, and it ignites something in you. And then you want to go and take action through and after that emotion, right? There is a reason for that. There's a reason why your heart ignites in that way. And it is because you're capable and your soul knows it. You are here to create a reality, to play around with manifesting and creating. You have to remember that you are an eternal being of love and light. You are limitless. And oh my goodness, I hope you can feel in my words how much I mean it when I say that. The power that I'm trying to give off to you as I say that. I don't say that lightly. Please do not take that lightly. When I say that you're powerful, when I say that you're limitless, when I say that you're here, not just for an experience, because that is part of it, you're here to experience, but also to create, to bend reality at your own will. Meaning that you can do in this lifetime literally anything and everything that you desire. There are no limits. The only limits are the ones that you create in your mind and that society has implemented or placed or conditioned you to believe in. Those are the only limits. The type of relationship you so badly desire, the type of career, the amount of money, the freedom, the expression, the liberation that you so desperately desire, you can have that. Whatever dream you have in your heart, in your mind that has ignited, believe me, it is there for a reason. It is coming from your soul. It is coming from your heart. And although it may feel impossible, although it may feel like, well, how can I live off being an artist? How can I live off being someone who just shares their wisdom? How can I live off of cooking? How can I live off of whatever it is, writing a book or teaching a yoga class, whatever it is, right? It's going to be unique for everyone. You can live a life that is truly fulfilling, a life that is truly abundant. And it is 2:22 on the clock as I say that. You can co-create with the universe, and you're here for that. It's just to bend reality at your will. It's to manifest. However, the thing is that you have to get out of your own way. The thing is that you have to learn your true power. You have to learn the potential that you have. Dive into the deepest parts of yourself. Recondition yourself and take action. The reason that you feel so unfulfilled, the reason why you sometimes feel like you're not lucky, like things don't work out in your favor, like you can't have the right set of people around you, whether that is in friendships or relationships, the reason why you feel unfulfilled at your job and you're just going there to collect a paycheck because you have to, the reason why you feel like life is so difficult and hard, like you have to fight your way through, is simply because you are blocking yourself. You are limiting yourself. So it is time to free yourself. It is time to step into the best and highest version of yourself through awareness and through actions. And that is exactly what I'm here in hopes of inspiring out of you. We can no longer continue to hold ourselves back. We can no longer continue to limit ourselves and enslave ourselves to a life that is so little when we are meant for so much more. So you're probably wondering, okay, Annie, great, wonderful. This sounds magnificent. Keep telling me all about it. But how do I do this? How do you step into your full power? How do you uncover and unleash your fullest, bold potential fearlessly without worrying about what people are saying? How can you show up in this world and live a life that is truly fulfilling? How can you be you? Because that's the thing. When you're not being you, when you're not being authentic, when you hold back in the way that you have to act in public, maybe you're someone who's very silly and goofy and likes to make silly faces or likes to talk loudly or likes to dance and shake their booty, shake their whatever your mama gave you. But you tend to hold that back, again, because of judgment. Maybe you want to fully follow your dreams of becoming a singer or becoming a yoga teacher or being a spiritual coach, writing your own book, traveling the world, whatever it is, right? Maybe you have this idea and you're not following that. Instead, you're staying in your corporate world. You're staying in the 9 to 5. You're staying in the matrix, in the system, and you're staying in the sabotaging, negative, toxic relationships with friends, with partners, with family members. That is when life becomes hard. That is when life feels heavy. That is when life feels like there's no escape and I'm just here for suffering. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you a secret. You are placing yourselves in those situations. And that is just the truth. And I'm here to tell you the truth so that you can free yourself. I'm here to make you aware of the things that perhaps you're not aware. There's a lot that we have control over, and there's some things that we don't have control over. We don't really have control of how and when things will happen for us, of how and when we will be aligned with certain things, but we do have control over the choices and the decisions that we take. We do have control over what we tolerate. For example, bad behavior from people that we love and cherish, accepting and tolerating less than what we deserve, staying in the 9 to 5 when we know that's not fulfilling us, when we know that we don't wake up every day feeling excited, feeling joyful about what we're doing. When you continue in this loop of self-sabotaging yourself, that is when life feels like this, and that is not the purpose of life. That is not really why your soul decided to come here. So out of this video, I'm hoping to spark some curiosity in you about not only why you're here, but how you're limiting yourself. What do you think is actually stopping you right now from having the life of your dreams, from having the right partner, the right set of people, the right amount of money, from being the version of yourself that you know you can be? Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's staying consistent in the gym. Maybe it's being more organized. Maybe it's eating healthier. What is actually stopping you from having all those things? It's you. It's yourself. You are the one. And I know that there's a lot of different factors that play into that, such as your emotions, such as what you have been conditioned to believe in. For example, maybe you have always seen your parents work hard for money. Maybe you've always seen them put in hour after hour, overtime after overtime to get enough money to survive. And so this has been imprinted in you. Now you believe that in order to have money and live comfortably, you also have to put in a lot of hours. You also have to work hard for money, or that you have to chase it at that. Now you have this subconscious belief around money, that money is hard to obtain, when in reality it is not. You don't have to overwhelm yourself and work long hours to be able to make enough to live financially free. You can do what you love and what you enjoy and also make enough money. Same thing with the things that we tolerate in relationships. Maybe you stay in that toxic relationship or that toxic friendship because there's something inside of you that tells you that you need them. There's this lack or this void or this inner voice that makes you feel like you need something outside of yourself when you don't. You are whole. You are complete. You have everything that you need in this world. You are abundant and you are fulfilled just as you are. And you have to ingrain that in yourself. You have to reprogram yourself into knowing that you are indeed enough. And you do that through being aware. You do that through realizing that you are that and more. Through affirmations, through shadow work, through healing. Dive deep and ask yourself why. Why do you tolerate less than you deserve? Why do you think you need this connection? What are they actually giving you that you think you can't give yourself? Is it the company? Is it someone to talk to? Is it just the dopamine maybe of the highs and lows with that person? Or are you just holding on to a version of them that you made up in your head of who they could be, although they constantly show you that they're not? And when it comes to self-sabotaging, why do you think that you limit yourself so much? Why are you so afraid of yourself? Why are you living off of fear? And when I say why, I mean I want you to ask yourself why. Ask yourself, why can't I get up in the morning every day as I say? Why can't I just be consistent? Why am I afraid to express myself in the way that I know I want to express myself? And then from there, you're going to uncover the root causes of why you are the way that you are. Maybe when you were little, your mom always told you to behave. Anytime that you asked a lot of questions, you were told to be quiet. What rooted beliefs do you actually have about yourself? And start from there. Start working from there. Start reprogramming yourself from there. And then replace that belief. Maybe sometimes you call yourself weird, right? Let's say sometimes you're like, oh, I'm weird. Or I'm not strong enough to leave this relationship. Or I'm not creative enough to go out and make YouTube videos or go out and be an artist. I'm not capable of that. Change that type of thinking. Be mindful of the way that you speak to yourself and replace that. Replace that with a nurturing, loving voice. Remind yourself, because essentially you're just reminding yourself of things that you already are and that you already know deep within you, that you are worthy, that you are creative, that you are strong. Don't go into a loop of negative limiting beliefs. Don't even allow you to do that. Once you're able to identify where these beliefs come from, replace them. I don't know how many times I used to call myself weird for how goofy I like to be sometimes. There were times that I wanted to approach people and just simply say, hi, can we be friends? And that's not really normal nowadays. People don't typically just approach someone and say, hey, do you want to be friends? And start a random conversation like that with someone, especially through social media, right? So this is something that I would do. I would approach people that I felt drawn to and I'd say, hey, I feel drawn to you. Let's be friends. And after I would do that, I did this maybe once or twice, I would feel this intense emotion of judgment where I would start to tell myself that I was weird. I'm like, that was so weird. Why would you do that? And I would get like this cringing feeling like, and I would tight up and my body would get tense. And I'm like, why would I just go up to someone? They're probably thinking that I'm weird because who approaches? And I would make up all these stories in my head when in reality, that person's just like, oh, cool. Yeah, we could be friends. And even if not, so the fuck what? Did I die? Did I lose a leg? What happened? Nothing. It's actually a good thing to do things out of your comfort zone. Get used to doing things out of your comfort zone. I still continue sometimes to reach out to people and say, hey, I feel drawn to you. Let's be friends. And sometimes I'll feel my old self come up and try to call me weird. And before I even allow myself to say that I'm weird, I say, no. I am not weird. I am brave. That was brave of me. That was so brave of me to reach out to a stranger and ask them to be friends. And I think that the reason why I thought that it was weird to reach out to someone and ask them to be friends, or specifically for me, is because I have a trauma around friendships. I've had friendships that made me feel unworthy. I've had friendships that made me feel like I was always left out and like people didn't really want to be around me in a way. So there's always a core wound. There's always a core cause. There's always a root to every single way that you act and feel about yourself, to that voice that limits you. And this is why it's so important to get to that root cause so that you can then reprogram that. And the point of all of this, the reason why you would even want to do all of this, and you're probably like, okay, great, I can start to become a little bit more aware and note when I'm not being my authentic self, note when I'm limiting myself, but for what or why? Because you will liberate yourself. You will free yourself. When you are authentic, you are the most magnetic. Then the universe, this is just how the universe works. This is how God works in a way. When you are true as yourself, without fear, without doubt, when you do the healing, you become more high vibrational, okay? Let's say that you're vibrating here right now. You're vibrating at 100 because you're living off of fear and doubt. When you heal and do everything that I just mentioned in this video, your vibration then rises. And let's say you rise up to 400 or 500. And when you're here, this is the vibration of manifestation. This is the vibration of attracting things that you want, the right people, the right opportunities, you being authentic, you being proud of yourself, you living in love and light, and just so much more. Because at this vibration is where everything else exists that is positive, that we want. Love, compassion, abundance, money is up here. It's not down here, okay? It's not down here. It's here. So you got to reach up to it so that you can naturally attract it to you. So that it's nothing that you're forcing. Not the right person, not the right set of group of people, of friends, and not money. And not that version of yourself that you want to be. Things just come more naturally to you. And then you would feel like you're living a fulfilled life. Then you would understand why you're here and that this is all just, in a way, a game. This is all just for play. This is all just an experience. And it doesn't have to be taken so seriously. This is how you get to free yourself and live a life where you can wake up every day and feel like, whoa, I'm grateful to be here. I'm so happy that I'm here, because you get to see how you can literally manipulate reality to your will, to your liking. It takes work. Yeah, it does. But you can do it. I promise you, you can do it. Just start. Start now. Start today. One step at a time. One step at a time. Okay? As long as you're trying, as long as you, even if it's just a little bit, even if you're giving 10% today, that's okay. Take that. And look at the light in the background flashing and moving. Oh, see, you just did it right now. That's only more confirmation for you. If you have found this video helpful or insightful in any way or form, please do give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe so that we can continue to grow and expand together, so that we can continue to free ourselves every day, step by step, one root at a time. My beautiful friends, it has been such a pleasure and such a delight. If you have any questions, post them below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.